All right, y'all. So we are going to be covering quite a few topics on today's show. I happen to be on TikTok and just looking at my feed, and I happened to come across this video that had 3.3 million likes. And then I happened to see more videos that were based on this same topic. Apparently, there is a Gen Z stare. I'm Gen Z, okay? I'm 23 years old, and I want to kind of watch this a little bit with you, and I guess I'll let you know, do I think there's a Gen Z stare or not? And why is there a Gen Z stare if there is one? Okay, so let's just go ahead and watch it.
Ooh, Gen Z just does the Gen Z stare. They don't know how to talk to people. Fair. A lot of Gen Z don't know how to talk to people. But a lot of older generations talk too much, too rudely, and too proudly while being too stupid. I cannot tell you. You have to work in the food industry to fully grasp how stupid people can. I remember one day I was serving this customer. She's ordering a burger. She was like, okay, I want this cheeseburger with no cheese on it. My first red flag. Then she says, I want to have pepper jack on this burger. I look at her, I'm confused. I'm like, ma'am, you said you didn't want cheese on your burger? She says, yes. I said, ma'am, are you talking about like specific cheeses or like you just don't want any cheese on your burger? She says, yes. I said, ma'am, are you aware pepper jack is a type of cheese we offer? She looks at me and she scoffs like, dumb. And she's like, clearly I'm not talking about the cheese then. Then what are you talking about? And I was like, okay, ma'am, we don't offer anything that's pepper jack except for cheese. She said,
okay, I'm just going to say this. I'm that type of person who's known for being pretty friendly. I'm not saying that to toot my own horn or anything like that, but I usually make friends with people just out in the community, and I enjoy being friendly. So when I'm hearing this and I'm listening to this young woman, first of all, if she said it like this, her customer service skills are terrible, okay? Which is a problem in today's generation, because every single time, it seems like lately I've been going out to these different restaurants and everything, and tell me why the customer service is just terrible. And it's just like crazy to me. And I don't know. I just wanted to add that. Let's keep watching this video. Like I said, it had 3.3 million views, or at least 3.3 million likes. So obviously the world's talking about it.
put pepper jack on the burger. Y'all have done it before. I want the pepper jack that's not the cheese. And I'm like, I really don't know what this lady talking about. But I'm like, okay. So ma'am, I'm putting the pepper jack that we offer on your burger. She says, yes. Are you deaf? That's what I just said. Okay. So her order comes out. I give it to her. She opens the burger. She says, what is cheese doing on my burger? I said, ma'am, you said to put pepper jack on your burger. But she asked me, are you dumb? I said, not the cheese. And like she starts going on this whole spiel. I clocked out immediately. I was like, let me go get my manager. She has this whole conversation with the manager, all upset, calling me all types of names. Manager pulls me to the side and said, oh, she was asking for fried jalapenos on her burger. I'm sorry. Is there a world that I'm not from where pepper jack is fried jalapenos? I've had a person get mad at me because their iced tea was too cold. I really don't know what these people want from me. Of course, I'm gonna just start staring at you. I'm staring at you like you're dumb. You're stupid because you are.
Oh my God. Either that person is dumb or you have bad customer service, ma'am. It is a communication issue. And as the sales representative, as the customer service representative, it is your job to make sure the customer is happy. Now, I'm going to tell a quick story. I'm that type of person who enjoys going to Cava. If you don't know what Cava is, it's a Mediterranean kind of fast food restaurant, but not fast food. Like you can go in and sit down and everything. Well, I went to Cava last week or 2 weeks ago. And I go in there and I wanted some of these fried pita bread chips that they have, and I noticed that my pita bread chips were cold, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to be paying for cold pita chips, so here you go. And so I tell the lady, hey, these are cold, can I get some fresh ones? She says, yes, you can go throw those away though. Keep in mind, the trash is way across the restaurant. I have on stilettos. No, ma'am, I'm not walking over there to throw it away. You are supposed to be serving the customer. I've been in the customer service industry before. If the customer has asked me to do something or is not happy with something, I'm going above and beyond to make that customer happy. But now we live in a generation where people just don't understand the importance of customer service skills. So I'm Gen Z, but I feel like, first of all, I have friends from all different generations. If you look at my friends, you'll be like, wow. I have friends from like every generation. At least the past 3 or 4 generations. Let's see, Gen Z, Millennial, Generation X, Silent Generation. I don't know if I have friends from the Silent Generation, but my great grandma, can she be considered my friend? I don't know. Anyways, let's watch this next video of this Gen Z stare, and then let's go ahead and get into some updates regarding Sarah Fields and the lawsuit that she's in with Charles White. Okay, so let's watch this.
Glad that the older generations are calling out my generation, Gen Z, for being so socially immature. Finally, y'all invented this weird ass Gen Z stare. Y'all know the one. You ask someone a simple question like, hey, do you need some help looking for something today? It just hits you with this dumb, confused, deer in headlights type of look, as if you just committed some egregious crime by simply asking them, treating them with basic human decency. Imagine having to grow up with these people, having to live around these people, being forced to commune with these people, being forced.
Oh my gosh, he's being a little bit dramatic, but we get what he's trying to say. Gen Z does not have the greatest social skills. And, you know, I'm an older Gen Z. I'm older as far as like, I'm at kind of the beginning of Generation Z's generation. Does that make sense? And so it's just like, it seems to be getting worse and worse and worse. I feel like our generation is just, I miss the wholesomeness that I experienced when I was a child. It's like I experienced a whole different world. And then COVID happened and this world has become even more crazy. It's just like, I don't know. I look at Generation Z and everything that we've been going through, and I don't mean to paint us as victims because we're not. Every generation has their things that they go through, but it's just like, I feel like our generation is just almost being left behind in a way. When you look at what's happening in the high schools, a lot of Generation Z students cannot even read or write. Some of the Generation Z students have even missed out on several years of schooling because of COVID. And so Generation Z is so behind in many ways, including their social cues and awareness. Okay. So I think that needs to change. If you ever go to my university, the university I graduated from, University of Oklahoma, I think that the Gen Z stare is very prevalent on that university campus. I'm that type of person. If I see somebody, I'm going to smile. I'm going to probably wave. I'm going to be nice. I don't care if you're a stranger or not. Just kind of be friendly, you know? But on that campus, I'm telling you, people just look at you. They don't smile. They don't wave. They don't do anything. No high fives, no nothing. And it's just like, wow, we need to do better as a society. If you want to have a great experience in life, you've got to be a part of creating that great experience. How do you create that great experience? By being friendly, by being social. Just smile at somebody. I even told my friend this, like, because she's like, Tamera, how do all these people just talk to you? Smile at them. Be friendly. Be open. And you'll go far in life, okay? So let's finish watching this and let's go to the next topic.
Go to school with these types of people. So yes, at 27 years old, I'm completely fed the up with Gen Z. My generation is so emotionally constipated. Every single social interaction turns into this like awkward, tension-filled mess. Oh, and when you decide to call it out or you change your behavior, you don't play into their weird-ass little mind.
It seems like the wind is kind of blowing behind him.
Games, they call it you the weird. They say you're the one that's being weird. Like, what the fuck? Like, how am I weird when you just stared at me for simply asking if you needed some help finding some items? And I don't know what type of message that they're trying to convey when they do this shit. It's like, bro, I walked up to you because you were looking lost. And now that you're looking at me like this, you look even more lost. With this idiotic look on your face, what the f*** do you want me to do? Why does my generation have this weird obsession with trying to embody bougie, stuck-up cat behavior, while at the same time being the most lame, goofy, uncool, insufferable people in the room? I don't know where my generation got this from, but let me be the first to tell y'all, being awkward is not cool. It's not a personality trait, it's just a weirdo. Making other people feel weird for initiating conversation with you, it's not hip, it's not trendy. Just publicly make yourself look like a dumb. You think it's okay because you have your two little friends with you who want to co-sign on this guy's behavior. They're weirdos too. Like I said, bro, I'm just happy that the older generations are finally calling out Gen Z for being the lame, goofy mother they have been my whole entire life. They just been getting away with it because up until this point in their lives, I have been the only person in these rooms to tell them about themselves. Gen Z is the only generation outside the boomers who have gaslit and convinced themselves that their shit doesn't stink. If there ever were a more equally delusional generation of people outside the boomers, Gen Z. People say like Gen Z is the new boomers. We're gonna grow up to be the boomers. I 100% believe them.
Do y'all agree with him? I don't know. I think Generation Z, we know that Generation Z is a very conservative generation. We've got a lot of things going for us. We voted for Trump. You know, we understand that, okay, being like the millennials is not in our best interest, but do you think he's making some points? I don't know if I want to go super extreme and say yeah or no, but I think that this is a conversation that needs to be had, and I'm excited that people are having it. So anyways, let's go ahead and go to the next topic. All right, y'all. So Sarah Fields